Hey, Mike Hilly here, and I have a great video for you. This one is entitled, Are You the Next TEXITcoin Millionaire? And I wanted to kind of break down a new article that just was posted on the help desk that I think is going to really open your eyes to the potential of what we have here, what you can become a part of, or if you're already part of Texit, really getting you thinking outside the box. Now, before I go through this article, I'm going to pull up a quick disclaimer. Disclaimer is this. Crypto products and NFTs are unregulated, can be highly risky, okay? Do your own due diligence. Anything I say is not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. Check with your professionals to find this out. Everything I talk about is for training and educational purposes only. Past results do not indicate future predictions, anything like that, okay? So there's a disclaimer, but I want you to think outside the box with me on this, okay? So Bobby wrote this article just recently, and what's called "It's Your Path to the TXC Millionaire," which got my attention. I read it this morning, and I was like, you know what? I'm going to break this down for people to understand really what this is, okay? Now, if you're familiar with, obviously, Bitcoin, back in the day, Bitcoin, believe it or not, launched at 10 cents a coin, okay? 10 cents a coin. That literally means a single dollar, if you would have gotten in right when it happened and when it launched, would have made you a multi-million dollar today, a millionaire today. I mean, the current price is me recording this. Bitcoin is $122,000 per coin, okay? He breaks down also that at $5 a coin, at $5 per Bitcoin, a tank of gas would have been worth millions of dollars back then, okay? And then during the crash, when it went up, got up to like over 30-some thousand dollars, then it crashed all the way down. People panicked, tons of people sold. And again, you could have been in the right place, right time. Now, a lot of us believe that TEXITcoin is a Bitcoin redo, okay? Now, here's the cool part. Like, if you're not familiar with what we're doing basically a crowdfunding project in the cryptocurrency space. I want to pull this one up for you, okay? We are listed on CoinMarketCap. You can go and check out what the current price is. And in my opinion right here, $4.11, it is a bargain. I'm talking steal. We've grown over 6,100% in a very short period of time, like literally less than 12 months. We're already trading on 5 major exchanges. So it's all there. You can go see it. And what's cool is every day it seems like our volume just keeps increasing. Like right here, 546,000 in 24-hour trading volume, which is up 10%, okay? So we're starting to see these steady trends. You can see the growth here and stuff like that. And you got a spike and you got the decline right here. What I like about that, in my opinion, and personally, is it's finally showing some real open market trading. It's not just all the Texit miners that came in and have jumped on board, and here we are, okay? So this is some real volume, real sales, real people buying tokens. Okay, so back to the thing. Now, the crowdfunding project, what you have to understand is if you go into Google and type in crowdfunding, you're going to see that there's some major cryptocurrencies, like literally top 10 cryptocurrencies that started as crowdfunding projects. Ethereum is one of them, okay? They did the exact same thing. They basically offered the ability for people to come in, crowdfund that project, put it together, and so on. Dogecoin, if you're familiar with that, I mean, basically people bought for fractions of a penny were getting tokens. And then when somebody, with a lot of credibility, Elon Musk jumped on board with it, it exploded, okay? And here we are today. Now, here's the thing is there's been a lot of videos. You probably recognize my voice if you ever watched Path to 16 video about the token price going to $16, okay? This is the thing. It's not stopping at 16. 16 is kind of the benchmark of where we're going. I got some good videos on that. You could watch that Path to 16 video just so you understand it. But here's where I'm going to start showing you some other stuff, okay? The way the strategy is being built is we're going out and there's advertising dollars being spent on video, print, media, things like that. I'm going to show you all those things in a second. Is the biggest things that we're trying to do here is build the mine, number one, and pay commissions, and which is basically referral money, commissions to people who refer it, same as any other advertising dollar promotion, and promote the currency. Okay, so let me show you this real quick. I'm going to go back into this one. I think I showed I actually have an article on this about the crowdfunding projects, that these different ones right here. I'd mentioned that. Now, start about talking about building the mine. This is just some video or some images I took and I got from people. We've got the big containers now being shipped in. We're in building mines in 3 different locations around the McKinney, the Texas area. I think it's Victoria, Mansfield, and McKinney. The big L9 hash hog. I don't think you call them hash hog. Fog hash platforms. They just basically plug and play. You just drop on the platforms, plug them in, and get them going. I mean, they're really incredible. So we're really getting there going with that. Also, sponsorships. We're doing sponsorships of a lot of the major sports teams in Texas. I know the Texas Longhorns are now part of it. This right here is I took a screenshot of TCU, which is a big D1 school. There's billboards now, and let me remember this correctly. There's billboards all over Florida, Texas, I know California, Arizona, things like that, where they're showing pricing. These are the digital billboards, which is incredible. Airports now, we are saturating airports with TEXITcoin because this is gets the awareness out there. We're in Austin, Houston, Dallas. We're now going into Miami, and Orlando and LAX. Okay, so those are the biggest airports pretty much in the United States, besides maybe 1 or 2, but who knows, we'll probably be in those. This is an image actually from the Austin airport. Different things on the carousel sales. Blech, that one. TEXITcoin on, we got the balloons. Cars are getting wrapped like crazy. Like people are doing it themselves. Companies sponsoring these. Cars are giving away 35 exotic cars next weekend for an event down at the what is it, L1? Not the L1. The race, the race that they're doing. And then you've got the TEXITcoin. A lot of them are sponsoring like fights. This is actually Dan Henderson. Events that they've put on, and we got people. So we're building a huge community. Okay, I'm going to blow through these real quick. These are digital signage. It was all over Las Vegas Boulevard. I was there. I got to see these in person. Gun shows. I mean, everything out there is out there. And Bobby himself spoke in front of Congress back in 2000. I think it was 2008, something like that, or 2010. I can't remember exactly the date. You can look this up on YouTube. It's amazing. He's spoken at some of the bigger digital conferences and so on. Okay. And so here we are. And back to this one. This is what started kind of the big conversations. My first introduction was back in April. And when I joined in Texit, I said, this makes sense. I want to get myself a miner. The token price itself at that time, I think, was 47 cents. And if you go through and look at the path to 16, we're hitting these milestones and exceeding those milestones. Okay. So let me go back to this article here. So build the mine. I showed you all that stuff. I showed you this. Pay the commissions. Now, what does that mean? Now, in addition to all the print, radio, television, stuff like that that's going on out there, they're paying out commissions on the crowdfunding project towards affiliates, people who go out there and just talk about it. Same as any kind of advertising dollars. To me, it's dollars are being advertised. Okay. Here's the cool part. This is all transparent. And I pulled up this week's weekly financial report because I want to show you this. And let me blow that up so you can see it nice and well. Revenue, okay? New revenue that came in last week was 7.2 million. Here's the thing. Look at that number. So to date, we've raised over $89 million. That's $90 million have been raised for this crowdfunding project to go somewhere. Okay, you got to think that this isn't an accident. This is strategic, and a lot of us see where this thing is going, big picture. And then you can kind of see different things here. You can look this up. If you want to, you can always go get this report yourself. But what I'm going to show you here is all transactions are transparent. I'm going to also show you the wallets of the top holders in the company here in a minute. Now, if you look at the very beginning of this financial report, these are the sales. These are people that went out and bought what we call hash power, which is one miner. So you can see the different options. Some people buy 1, some people buy 2, some people buy 4 because they're participating in this project. Some people buy the 9-pack, which comes with 2 free. Okay, and you can kind of go see this. Now, if you notice this little drag button right here, it is going to go for a long time as I drag this. Okay, let me see if I can get past all that and get to, because I was talking about commissions. So how did I get to that? That's sales. That's this week. All of these millions of dollars worth of miners bought by individuals. Okay, and you can only buy Currently, like a maximum of 9 is what they've always set out. You can buy a few more if you want, but let me keep going. And you're gonna almost past all of the sales of the miners. All right, here we go. We're getting to the commission part right here. There it is. Okay, hash power. Now, here's the cool part: is for referrals. As the affiliate program, one of my favorite things is they actually will give you free miners. So you can take cash if you want, you can take tokens, or they will give you free miners. These people, all of these, the names are listed right here. You can see exactly what their commission would have been, and if their decision was to take hash, meaning get a miner. And there's probably a few thousand of these that I've got to scroll through to get to, okay? And so I'll blow through those. You can see it. Scroll, 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 commission auto, and we'll get to the next part. And then there's people who decided, I'm sorry, those were people who took BOGO commissions. And then there's other these are right here are the miners that were given out for more referrals. If you refer 3 people, it's called a 1, 2 free. They give you those. And here's a whole list of all the people that got 2 extra miners, or, you know, on and on and on. You could see it just goes on and on and on and on. I haven't even got to the commission part. So you can see that this is a very transparent program. And then the rapid rewards are what they call the team commissions. And check this out. I'm going to just roll through these. These are the commissions right here. These means individuals got a $3,000 check for the week. That's what they max the affiliate program out, so that it's you know, not pointed as, hey, you're doing this, you're paying, you know, whatever. All transparent, right? Look at these all these incomes. These are different people, by the way. Every single one of these checks is a different person that got a check. Okay, you want me to keep going? You want me to keep going? Do you want me to keep going? Thousands, 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 and you kind of get the idea. And I'm going to go back to the very top, okay? Because here's what what I just showed you is the revenue came in, but we paid out, not me, but Texit itself paid out almost $3 million last week. $3 million last week to individuals like you and I who just told some people, hey, this might make sense. You know, not sure if it's going to pan out to be anything. You might want to take a gander at it, okay? Let me get back to that. So building the mine, I showed you all that. Videos, lots of people visited, blah, blah, blah. Pay commissions, that's where we're at. And promote the currency. Last week, they were in one of the probably largest crypto project in the world in Singapore, conference, I mean. And Bobby did a phenomenal talk. It was just a few minutes long, but if you listen to it, you'll understand where this project is going. Okay, so let me kind of wrap this up a little bit, because I know you could read the article and so on, but I wanted to show you some extra stuff with it. Basically, what's happening is, if you look at where we are, this was speculation and an idea a few months back, okay? Probably a year ago. It's like, hey, I'm going to try something crazy. I'm going to build a mine and see what happens. I'm going to base it around the Litecoin papers and how that works and stuff like that, and pretty much model the same thing. We're going to get back to the basics of crypto with Bitcoin, which a lot of people forgot about what Bitcoin was really designed for, which is peer-to-peer transparency and an honest currency, okay? The community is growing faster than ever. Great. I remember I had that on here. Let's talk about that. Again, full transparency. You can go publicly look at this at any given time on the website. We currently have 36,000 people have jumped on this, what we call the rocket ship. We kind of jokingly call seats on the rocket ship, to build 100 million mega hash mine. What that means is the 100 hash that you saw on there. And when I say miner, that's 100 hash. So there was only going to be 1 million total seats ever sold, okay? Average person right now is getting about 5 as far as purchasing, and now those numbers are starting to go up per person due to the fact that a lot of people are like, hey, you mean I can refer 3 people and get a free miner or 2 miners or whatever? Yep, you can do that. And so what's happening is this. Now, here's what's cool is, again, transparency shows the exact on the website, the use of the funds, commissions, promotions, overhead, mines, liquidity, income, all that, okay? And then I pulled up, because you can adjust these right here. If you go to it, you can click on month, day, week, and so on. And I want you to see this. Revenue, look at this. Okay, these are revenues coming in. Last week, 10 million commission revenue. Okay, you can see how it's trending up, and I'm obviously doing this on October the 9th, if you can see my calendar there. So that's why there's a huge dip right there, since we're not towards the end of the month yet. But look at this, total miners. I said I got in April. I think my sign up date was was April 14th, and there was 3,000 people when I jumped in. That's 10x since I've been in 6 months, basically 10x growth already. Guess what's about to happen? Okay, if you know anything about exponential numbers, geometric growth, we're going in that direction. And the reason we're going in that direction is because of this, because the mines are being built and the consistency's coming in, the liquidity's there. You can look at all that. Oh, I meant to show you that stuff. You can go look on an open blockchain. That's what's so cool about crypto. Blockchain's wide open. You can see everything. And I wanted to show you this right here, that these percentages, so these are the top wallet addresses. That's what these long string of numbers are, of the top 100 TEXITcoin holders of coins, right? And you can see a lot of people are like, well, this is going to be a rug pull because one guy owns everything. He doesn't. Look, top wallet only has 3%. 3%, that's it. So if you go down and look, even at the bottom person right here, bottom spot right there, they're only holding out of 90,000 tokens, 0.16 of a percentage, right? And then if you look at over here, you can see the breakdown of these numbers right here, top 100 holders, and then everybody else right here. But think about that, because if you finish this article out, okay, here's where it goes. We've already proven that 16 is a realistic target, which is true. Not stopping at 16, but check this out. What if those tokens go to this potential price point based on sound math? Just going through and checking out the math. And if you look at the comparables, because again, checking out where things were, where things potentially could go, and so on, you can see that the comparables matter. Look at these together. Money first, mine is capped. Again, we have an end date. That's why I put these videos out, is I'm just trying to let my friends know that you need to take a gander at this, jump on board as fast as possible, because if this goes to this price right here, okay, it wouldn't be a moonshot. It's going to be a steady growth there. And this is what you had your hands on, whether that was through mining, purchasing tokens on the open market. Again, you can go to any of these. You can go to any of these and buy tokens. Pick your favorite one. I'm a fan of DexTrade. MEXC is really, really good. But if you figured out how to get that in your wallet, whether it's miners, because you maybe don't have the capital, and that goes to that moonshot right there, guess what that is? That's 7 figures. Again, not guaranteed incomes. This is all entertainment purposes only, hypothetical, just throwing some stuff out there, getting you to think on, outside the box here. But if you look at that right there, it would have taken back in the day 62,000 TXC tokens to get to this $1 million mark. But based on what we were already seeing, you can kind of see where it's at. That literally that many, if we hit that price point, that gets you to a 7-figure token price. Now, here's the thing is, one of the cool parts is that if you start to think about this, you don't have to sell your tokens. If you're not familiar with crypto, there's a lot of things now transitioning in the crypto space that are going to give you better options. Instead of selling your digital assets of your tokens or your capital of that, you will be able to get collateralized loans on your holdings. There's already banks right now that allow people to come in and get loans on their Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP, etc. Okay, so picture that as well. Life-changing math, because if the token goes to $800, a single seat would yield, meaning one miner would potentially yield close to $75 a day worth of mining power. That means that if you had 9 seats, so you bought a 9-pack, and that token price gets to that, which could potentially not be that far off, by the way, a 9-pack, just for doing nothing, passive digital asset of a miner, could potentially make $650 plus a day. Okay, do the math on that one. And if you had 100 seats, which a lot of us have those goals, that kind of thing. Some of us already hit those goals. 100 seats at $7,500 a day. $7,500 a day. And again, you could sell it if you wanted to. Market's going to be able to handle it with the liquidity that's already being built into that. And also, again, back to the collateralized loans. Think about that. So here's the deal right here, kind of close down this article. Participation still matters because if you've accumulated, if you start figuring this out, getting your miners so you have an asset that lives on and on and on and on and on, whether you sell your tokens or not, they just keep coming in. There's lots of stuff that you can become crypto literate with. Look in the past, look at some of the top people, what they've done and so on. And the final thoughts, it's not a matter of whether we will create millionaires. Why can I say that? Because if you go here, I went through and did the math at the current price of where we are here, right? Just at $4, and that's been fluctuating up and down. And you look at these, if somebody got in fairly early when they were mining more tokens or accumulated through purchasing tokens, if you're up in the 200, 250,000 range right here, you're already a millionaire in Texit. That's a fact. That's you could open somebody's wallet right now that had this guy right here had 300,000 tokens, by the way, however you got them. And guess what? That would be there. So that's why my thing said next millionaire, because they're already created. We've already got them. It's a done deal. There's multiples out there. Okay. So the Bitcoin early adopters changed their lives forever. You can watch this thing go by or participate in it. Your call, obviously. And I think I covered everything. Let me just click on all these buttons. And we did. And last thing, here's what I'd tell you is take a good look at this. There's lots of good videos out there. I have one that I did not too long ago called Mining Made Easy. And I think if you watch that, if you're new to this, you will understand it. I'll blow up a screen here and I'll put the image on there so you can see what it says. So you know you're looking for it. You can go to my channel and so on. But here's what I tell you. Get with myself or get with wherever. We can get you set up. You don't ever have to tell anybody about this. You don't have to build teams. You don't have to do anything like that if you don't want to. But this project's going somewhere with or without you. Just trying to help. That's all. So anyhow, thanks again for watching. Hopefully you got a little education. Kind of blew your mind maybe a little bit if you start to understand what you have your hands on. So thanks again. See you on the other videos.